डियर स्टूडेंट, स्वागत है आपका आपके अपने यूट्यूब चैनल SRGCHOD इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग पर। एक बार फिर से मैं रोहिता सिंह, हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग, एक नए लेक्चर के साथ, दैट इज लेक्चर नंबर 8। And in this lecture we will discuss the multiple pulse width modulation technique. In the previous lecture we have covered the single pulse width modulation technique, in which we have created only a single pulse of the output voltage in each half cycle. During first half cycle the pulse of positive amplitude, that is of Vs, and in the next half cycle the pulse of output voltage, that is of negative magnitude, that is minus Vs. So here you can see that it is pulse width modulation technique. So similar to single pulse width modulation technique, we will have two waves, that is, or two signals, that is called as carrier signal. You see here this triangular waveform is the carrier signal, and one is reference signal, that is a reference signal. A reference signal, that is a square wave or rectangular wave, that is the output of a inverter. So see here, you know that this carrier signal having the amplitude, suppose this is this is AC, and the reference signal having the amplitude of AR. So you can see here in this from 0 to pi, that is in half cycle, there are multiple cycles of carrier signals. Similarly from pi to 2 pi, that is in next half cycle, there are multiple cycles of the carrier signal. Okay, now you know that this carrier signal and this reference signal are compared with the help of a comparator, and the conditions are that, you know, that is if AC is greater than AR, the thyristor T1 T2 conducts. T1 T2 conducts, and when thyristor T1 T2 conducts, in that case the output voltage V naught is equal to positive value of supply voltage, that is Vs. The second condition is that if minus AC, that is the negative amplitude or negative magnitude of the carrier wave, is greater than the negative magnitude of reference wave, then in that case the thyristor T3 and T4 conducts, and when T3 and T4 conduct, in that case the output voltage V naught is equal to minus Vs. So these two conditions we have to follow. So you can see here from this 0 point to up to this point, you can see here the amplitude of carrier signal is less than reference signal. So from this point to this point the output voltage will be 0. From 0 to up to this point the output voltage will be 0. But from this point to this point we are getting that carrier amplitude is greater than reference amplitude, means first condition satisfied, and when first condition is satisfied the output voltage will be equal to Vs. So from this point to this point we will draw these lines downward. From this point to this point we will get the positive output voltage. In the same way, from this point to this point the voltage waveform will be the positive voltage, like that, because in that case also the carrier signal is greater than the reference signal. In the same way, from this point to this point you can see that the carrier wave amplitude is greater than the reference wave, so the output will be positive Vs, like that. And this is point pi, this is half cycle. Similarly, now from pi to 2 pi, in the next half cycle, you can see here that from this point to this point the amplitude of carrier signal, that is negative amplitude of carrier signal is less than the negative amplitude of reference signal. So from this point to up to here you will not get the output, but from this point to this point, that the carrier amplitude, means negative amplitude of carrier signal is greater than the negative amplitude of reference signal. This is the reference signal and this is carrier signal. So between these 2 points we will get the output voltage, but condition for that is T3 and T4 conducts, and when T3 and T4 will conduct, the output voltage V naught will be equal to minus Vs. So between these 2 points we will get the output voltage as minus Vs. Similarly, between this point and this point, the amplitude of carrier signal is greater than the negative amplitude of reference signal. That's why the output voltage in that case is also minus Vs. Similarly, between this point and this point, the output voltage is minus Vs, and this is 2 pi. So in that case, you can see that in multiple pulse width modulation technique, we are getting the multiple pulse in the half cycle. In single pulse width modulation technique, only the single pulse is obtained in each half cycle. But here keep in mind that the width of each pulse will be same. Okay, here the condition is that we are taking the equal width of each pulse. So let total number of pulses in each half cycle is equal to, suppose, n. We have considered that the total number of pulses of the output voltage in each half cycle, that is equal to n. Now you know, in the previous lecture we have discussed that total pulse width in each half cycle, it is denoted by equal to 2d. That is the total pulse width, means total pulse width, the width of this pulse plus this pulse plus this pulse. This is the total pulse width of the output voltage waveform in each half cycle is equal to 2d. But since the width of each pulse is same, so the width of each pulse will be equal to width of each pulse per half cycle will be equal to how much? Total width, you know, this is 2d, and total number of pulses we have considered, that is n. So divided by n, and suppose this is delta. So delta is nothing but it is the width of one pulse, like that. This is delta. Keep in mind, delta is the width of each pulse per half cycle, that is equal to 2d divided by n. ठीक है. सो इस तरह से हम क्या कर सकते हैं, एक पल्स की विड्थ कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. अब हमें देखना है कि हाउ वी कैन डिटरमाइन द वैल्यू ऑफ नंबर ऑफ pulses in each half cycle. Okay, so you can see here, I can rub it. Okay, so you can see here, from this point to this point, this is one cycle of carrier signal. This is one cycle of carrier signal. You can see this is from this point to this. The waveform at this point is increasing linearly. After that, at the same point, the waveform is increasing. That's why it is one cycle. And you know that the time required to complete a cycle is called as the time period. So we can say this is the time period of carrier wave. Similarly, from this point to this point, you know, this is also time period of carrier wave. And from this point up to this point, this is the time period of carrier wave. Okay, so this is the time period of carrier wave. So total time period of carrier wave will be how much? The total time period, the time period of one cycle is Tc. Now we have how much cycles? We have n cycles, because each cycle is providing each pulse. Keep in mind, each cycle will provide each pulse. So we are getting number of n pulse in half cycle. Therefore, there will be n carrier cycles in each half cycle. Okay. So total number of carrier cycles in each half period is equal to how much? This is n into Tc. sorry, this is total time period we can calculate. This is the total time period. This is total time period, total time period of carrier wave in each half cycle. Each half cycle is equal to how much? This will be equal to, this is number of pulses, number of cycles how much? This is n, and time period is tc, so it will be equal to n tc. So the total time period of the carrier wave in each half cycle is equal to n tc. Now see here, the time period of this reference wave, the total time period of this reference wave is equal to how much? It is equal to 2 pi. So the time period of this carrier wave, this will be equal to, this is how much? This is pi by 2. Okay, so we can calculate the number of pulses. So here you can see here the number of pulses, total time period is how much? This is equal to carrier signal का कितना? n into tc is equal to, this is how much? Reference signal का कितना है? This is pi by 2. This is equal to pi by 2, and pi by 2 is nothing but, this is the pi by 2 is equal to, this is half of the time period of reference signal. Pi by 2 is nothing but it is half of the time period of reference signal. So we can put n into tc is equal to 1 upon 2 into tr. Okay, we can put from here n is equal to how much? It will be 1 upon 2 into tr divided by tc, and n is equal to 1 upon 2, tr is 1 upon fr into tc is 1 upon fc, that is fc. So number of pulses per each half cycle will be equal to fc upon 2fr. So keep in mind, that is very important formula. If in case of multiple pulse width modulation, you have to calculate total number of pulses generated in each half cycle, then it will be equal to n is equal to fc upon 2fr. fc is the carrier frequency and fr is the frequency of reference signal. Simple. We have calculated the total time period of the carrier wave, and this total time period is nothing but it is equal to half of the time period of reference wave. So we equate these two time period, that is ntc is equal to 1 upon 2tr. Okay, so in that case we have determined the number of pulses in each half cycle, that is equal to fc upon 2fr. So now we have also calculate the value of, RMS value of output voltage. So RMS value of output voltage, RMS value of output voltage, that is V node R. You know V node R is nothing but, I have already discussed, when there is a rectangular or square wave and if you have to calculate the RMS value, simply you have to square this waveform. When you will square this waveform, it will be equal to Vs square. So it will be Vs square. And if you have to calculate the area of this single pulse, so after squaring this, so when you will square, it will be Vs square, and width is equal to delta, so it will be delta. But this is the area of single pulse, it is the area of single pulse. लेकिन ऐसी ऐसी कितनी पल्स हैं आपके पास? 2 पाई में. ऐसी ऐसी है आपके पास n, आपके पास कितनी है हाफ साइकिल में, n कितनी है आपके पास नेक्स्ट हाफ साइकिल में, तो टोटल कितनी पल्स हुई आपके पास? दैट इज 2n. दिस इज द टोटल एरिया ऑफ द पल्सेस. और एवरेज निकालने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं? टोटल टाइम पीरियड से डिवाइड करते हैं, दैट इज डिवाइडेड बाय 2 पाई, और इसके बाद हम क्या करते हैं? इसका रूट लेते हैं. ठीक है. सो V नोट R इज इक्वल टू, इट विल बी Vs अंडर रूट n delta upon pi. Okay, so in that way you can obtain the RMS value of output voltage. So here you can see that RMS output voltage is depending upon the pulse width. Means if the pulse width delta is changed, then the value of this RMS voltage is also changed. So in that way, by varying the pulse width, we can vary the output RMS voltage. So this is the method in which we can control the output voltage, and you know delta is what? That is 2D divided by N. Okay, so in this way we have relate the pulse width to the output RMS voltage. Now also we can calculate the RMS voltage in terms of amplitude of carrier wave and reference wave. So see here, that is important. There is a relation between the output RMS voltage and the carrier wave amplitude and reference wave. See here. So we can rub it now. Suppose we have, this is the reference wave, this is suppose a reference wave like that. This is reference wave, this is 0, this is pi, and this is 2 pi, and this is omega t. And we are taking like that here. Suppose this is the carrier wave. Okay, this is the reference wave, this is a reference wave, a reference signal, and this is the carrier signal. This is carrier signal. See here. So this amplitude is the amplitude of carrier signal, that is equal to AC, and this amplitude is equal to A. See here. So if we draw this line downward like that, so this is what? This is how much? It is equal to pi by 2. If total from 0 to pi, this total duration is how much? It is pi. So this is the center point. So up to here we can write this duration is equal to how much? This is half of the half time period. Half time period is pi, and this is, we can say this is the quarter time period. So it is equal to pi by 2. Okay. So suppose this is angle theta. You can see here this angle is theta. So this is the slope of line. This is the slope. So you can see in this triangle, this is a right angle triangle like that. This is the triangle. You can say this perpendicular is how much? It is AC, and this base is equal to pi by 2. So we can write that is AC upon pi by 2 is equal to tan theta. We can write, or we can write that tan theta is equal to how much? This is 2AC upon this is pi. ठीक है. उसके बाद हम देख सकते हैं in this right angle triangle. This is also second right angle triangle जिसका परपेंडिकुलर कितना आपके पास AR है, और ये बेस कितना है? तो बेस कितना होगा आप देख सकते हैं. ये पल्स आपको मिल रही है. The duration of this pulse is how much? The duration of this pulse is equal to, this is D. Okay. So this duration in half cycle, this is equal to 2D. So this is 2D. This total duration means total pulse width. This is equal to 2D, because in single pulse modulation we have discussed the total width of the pulse in each half cycle is how much? It is equal to 2D. So this will be equal to how much? It will be equal to, this is D. This is the half pulse width. So in that case you can see that tan theta is equal to, this is AR divided by base is D. So we can equate these equations. So it will be 2AC upon pi is equal to, this is AR upon D, and this will be 2D AC is equal to pi into AR. From here we can calculate that is 2D is equal to AR upon AC into pi, and AR upon AC is nothing but it is the modulation index. I have discussed in previous lecture. So we can write that 2D is equal to, that is modulation index MA into pi. So this is total width of pulse. 2D is equal to modulation index into pi. So we have delta is equal to how much? 2D upon n. So delta can be written as, that is MA pi upon n. Okay, so in that way we can also calculate the value of pulse width, or we can write delta is equal to MA is AR upon AC into pi, okay, divided by n. So this is also important formula like that. This is the delta is nothing but it is the width of each pulse in output voltage. Okay, so from here we can calculate the value of delta. So in this lecture you have seen that here we have generated the multiple pulse in each half cycle, and when the multiple pulse are generated, the frequency has been increased, the switching frequency goes increased. ओके और जब स्विचिंग फ्रीक्वेंसी आपकी इंक्रीज हो जाती है तो हार्मोनिक्स कंटेंट्स आपके रिड्यूस हो जाते हैं, और अगर हार्मोनिक कंटेंट्स आपके रिड्यूस हो जाते हैं तो टोटल हार्मोनिक डिस्टॉर्शन आपका रिड्यूस हो जाता है. ठीक है, तो दिस इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ मल्टीपल पल्स विड्थ मॉड्यूलेशन, दैट टोटल हार्मोनिक डिस्टॉर्शन विल बी रिड्यूस. सो आज के लेक्चर में इतना ही. नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में वी विल डिस्कस द नेक्स्ट मेथड, because we have to discuss 3 methods of PWM technique. We have studied the single pulse width modulation technique, second is the multiple pulse width modulation technique, and third is important technique, that is the sinusoidal pulse width modulation technique. Okay, so I hope that you have enjoyed the lecture, and if you have enjoyed the lecture, please subscribe the channel, share and like the video. Thank you.